All right, so today we're going to dive into a story that doesn't start in a boardroom with a business plan, but with a really personal battle for health. This is the journey of Sangam, the founder of Altveda, and how his own lifelong struggle led him to a completely different philosophy of healing.
And it all started with this one question. A question that came from years and years of frustration, and just this deep feeling that there had to be a better way. This question, right here, was the spark that ignited a total transformation.
Now, to really understand where this all ends up, we've got to go back to the very beginning. We're talking about a life that was pretty much defined by chronic illness and a daily dependence on medicine. I mean, from the time he was a kid, Sangam's reality was shaped by his health. And this wasn't just a case of the sniffles. We're talking chronic asthma, severe allergies, the kind of thing that was an essential part of his everyday existence. His life literally depended on using inhalers and taking antihistamines every single day. For the longest time, he just thought, well, this is my normal. So on the outside, if you looked at his life, you'd think he was crushing it. He was a successful engineer out in Gurugram, literally building robots, making a great income, living a comfortable life. But on the inside, it was a completely different story. Just a constant daily battle. He couldn't go a single day without his meds, and every allergy season felt like going to war.
And eventually something's got to give. That internal struggle led to this huge turning point, a moment where just getting by, just managing the symptoms, it just wasn't good enough anymore. And this is where the real search began.
Just try to imagine that light bulb moment, that slow creeping feeling when you realize all the pills, all the inhalers, they're just Band-Aids. They're not a fix. He wasn't actually getting better, he was just treading water. And this realization wasn't just some passing thought, it completely shook him. And it brought him right back to that fundamental question. Is this really how my body is supposed to work?
So, with that question basically lighting a fire under him, Sangam started searching for real answers. But this time, he wasn't looking for a new drug. He was looking for an entirely new way of thinking about the body itself.
And this is what led him to Ayurveda. Now, for him, it wasn't about studying complicated ancient texts. It all boiled down to one single powerful idea. The body isn't broken. It's an incredibly intelligent system that is always trying to find its balance. And that perspective, well, it changed absolutely everything.
What's really cool is his journey didn't start with some extreme, crazy protocol. It started with 4 simple changes. He started exploring cleansing practices like Jal Niti, that's a nasal rinse technique. He simplified his diet, just sticking to home-cooked food. He tried out intermittent fasting. And he started removing harsh chemical products from his life. Small steps, but they started to add up to really noticeable shifts.
And yeah, his breathing was getting better and his energy was up. But the most profound change, that was all internal. He had this massive shift in his mindset. He realized his body wasn't his enemy. It was on his side, constantly trying to heal. His new mission became super simple. Slow down, listen to his body, and just get out of its way.
So during this whole period of discovery, Sangam started learning about medicinal herbs. And one herb in particular, Ashwagandha, became this kind of powerful teacher for him.
Now the thing about the Ashwagandha is that it wasn't some sudden dramatic cure. It was subtle. It was gradual. Over time, he just started to notice. His body felt calmer. He was sleeping more deeply. His stress just seemed more manageable. It wasn't a sledgehammer, It was more like a gentle guide.
And that experience taught him this core lesson. Natural healing isn't about forcing an outcome. It's about supporting the body's own intelligent systems and just helping them get back into balance. And this one insight would become the foundation for everything he would go on to build. For a really long time, this was just his own personal journey. But eventually, what started as a personal philosophy began to grow into a public mission. So how did all this become an actual brand? Well, for years, it was just his story. But then that thought started to creep in. If this helped me so much, maybe it could help other people. Then 2020 and the pandemic hit, and that was really the call to action. He teamed up with an Ayurvedic doctor, Vibhav Agarwal, and they created Altveda. They started out by focusing on those pure, potent, single-ingredient herbs, just like the ashwagandha that had been so key to his own healing. In this quote from Sangam, it just gets right to the heart of why he started the company in the first place. He was looking at this whole wellness industry that was so focused on quick fixes, this idea that you can solve all your problems with just one product. But his own journey had shown him that true wellness, man, it goes so much deeper than that.
So, what's the Altveda philosophy then? Well, it's all built on trust. Trust in your body's own intelligence. trust in the gentle power of nature, and trust in the process. And look, this isn't just some marketing slogan, it's a real commitment. It's why all their products, from Amla and Curcumin to Moringa and Shatavari, are IUS certified, completely plant-based, and have zero fillers or additives. The whole goal is just to support the body, not to force it.
And that brings us to the future, because for Sangam, this journey was never just about creating supplements. It's about building something much, much bigger.
He really doesn't see Altveda as just a product company. He sees it as a movement away from all the complicated, quick-fix solutions and toward a simpler, more conscious way of living where we are actually in tune with our bodies and with nature. His ultimate vision is to build a real community, a place where people can actually come together to learn about natural healing, reconnect with the earth, share food, practice yoga, and just support each other. For him, success isn't just about revenue numbers, it's about helping people rediscover the deep intelligence that their own bodies already have.
And that really leaves us with this final, powerful question. It's a question that completely flips the script on modern wellness. It suggests that maybe the answer isn't about finding the perfect cure to add into our lives, but about removing the obstacles and simply creating the right conditions for our bodies to do what they already know how to do. What if healing is really that simple?